Angeles City Commission workshop
Special meeting.
of Tuesday, February 17, 2026, at 6:04 p.m. 4:06 p.m.
It's a special meeting, Mr. Mayor, just for the record. Special meeting, just for the record.
So we had two workshops and a special meeting.
Yeah, the first one is the special meeting.
The first one is a special meeting? Okay,
Yes.
I'm sorry. All right. I call it special meeting of the City of Pahokee, Tuesday, February the 17, 2006, ordered at 4:07 p.m. May we please stand for the invocation provided by Commissioner McDonald, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance.
Dear Lord, we come before you once again to conduct the city of Pahokee's business. We pray that we're informed and that we govern ourselves according to our processes, the laws that govern what we do here as a municipality. We ask that we're able to be receptive to each and every one that speaks today, that we do as you would have us to do as we address the issues that are brought before us in this special meeting and in the workshops to follow. We ask that you continue to lead, guide, and direct us, and that we are able to do as it is required of us as officials of this city. We ask all these blessings in your son Jesus' name, pray.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Mayor Bab,
Present.
Vice Mayor Calvin Williams,
Present.
Commissioner McDonald,
Present.
Commissioner McPherson,
Present.
Commissioner Scott,
Present.
Interim City Manager,
Present.
City Attorney,
Here.
City Clerk is present.
Thank you, City Clerk. Thank you, Commissioners. Thank you, staff, and most importantly, thank our audience for being here to participate and witness our deliberation for our special call meeting of Tuesday, February the 17th. This particular meeting has one purpose, and it is to entertain a resolution 2026-05.
Excuse me, Mayor. You will have to take a vote to allow Vice Mayor to attend by phone.
At this time, I would ask the commission approval to have Vice Mayor Cowers Williams participate by phone.
So moved.
Second.
It has been moved by Commissioner McDonough and properly second by Commissioner McPherson to allow the Vice Mayor Williams to participate by phone. Call for questions. Hearing none, are you ready for a vote? Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Commissioner McDonald,
Yes.
Commissioner Scott,
Yes.
Commissioner McPherson,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Calvin Williams,
Yes.
Mayor Bab.
Yes. So we have one item on our agenda. It's Resolution 2026-05. And I'll have our city attorney reading it into the record.
A resolution of the City Commission of the City of Pahokee, Florida, authorizing an agreement between the City of Pahokee and Angela Reyes, LLC, for the provision of finance services, accounting services, and for assistance with OIG compliance responses, corrective action plans, and related services in an amount not to exceed $85,000 in the contract form attached hereto as Exhibit A, providing for adoption of representations, providing for conflict, and providing for an effective date.
Thank you, Madam City Attorney. Interim City Manager, could you give us a brief explanation?
Yes, Mayor, I can. As we seek for a financial service consultant, we're following the OIG recommendations that the city hire an outside consultant to address our concerns. We are looking to bring our city into compliance. As you all know, the last 3 audits in the last 3 years were late, and we need a new consultant. The city's had the same consultant doing all of these audits. The OIG says in the recommendation to get an outside consultant and someone new to the organization. And so we're asking for this resolution to be approved. In looking into it, we need a clean slate. We've been getting the same results for years, and we are looking for change. This firm has done this type of cleanup for other cities, and Pahokee needs the same as well. Some of the urgent matters that we have is that this firm will process our payroll until we hire the finance director, which takes time, but we are in the process of doing that. You don't have a financial consultant at this time, so that's why we're seeking to have this resolution approved. Today is February, and the findings of the OIG has not been addressed. The report shows that the OIG will return for a status check in March, and so we need to also start preparing for the audit. March as well, we must start our internal preparation for 2026 and 27. The finance director will come in once they're hired to work with this financial consultant to ensure that we come into compliance. As far as the benefits that we're getting from this particular firm, it's a reputable accounting firm with verifiable experience. The goal is to balance the budget on time, bring our city into compliance. We can't afford to keep being late as we have been in the past. The last consultant was asking $120 an hour for one person. This particular new group is asking $150, and we're getting an entire team. Okay, and they specialize in exactly what we need. This is a LLC team, professional, great background. They're gonna do in a short time, in 6 months, what it normally takes in a year. And so we're just asking for you all to approve this resolution so we can move forward with coming into compliance and fixing the areas of concern that has been pointed out by the OIG. And that's my report, Mayor. And if you will allow, Mayor, Ms. Reyes Santana is here today, and if you allow her to come up to the podium to address the commission. Ms. Reyes Santana.
Good afternoon, Mayor and Council. I don't know if this is on. For the
Good afternoon.
record, Angela Reyes Santana. I am here in response to the contract of completing the OIG findings and trying to get back into compliance, and also, for lack of better terms, just cleaning up do some housekeeping in the finance area with your budget and accounting team for 6 months, and then transition that over to whoever your finance director is.
Could you elaborate on some of your experiences in handling these type of issues?
Yes, I have been in the government sector for over 15 years. I've gone to different cities. I go in, I do business process reviews, I do assessments, and then I provide management suggestions of how to become more efficient and compliant. Specifically with state audits, I have been involved with that as well, just bringing certain practices back into compliance and hopefully trying to keep the state out of the city or out of that particular agency so that they can continue on and move forward with their daily operations.
The interim city manager mentioned that not only would you be working on it
Yes.
primarily, but you have an entire team. Who is part of your team and their experience in this?
I have 2 CPAs and I have 2 attorneys as part of my team. They have extensive background in government, specifically the government sector and agencies. They will be a part of my team, in my back office as well, of course, because I have, the the administrators that come in and do some of the legwork, but the real core of the team will be 2 other attorneys and 2 other CPAs that can get this done in a matter of 6 months. And hopefully reply to the state can reply back to us, give us some feedback, and then we can close this out and kind of keep it moving. That is the goal. I will need cooperation from city administration and the commission as well. It takes a team to get this done in such a short period of time, but I think if we all work together and, you know, answer the questions, provide some of the technicalities that the OIG is asking for, we can get it done.
So we can expect that once you've completed your audit, that a lot of the systemic issues that we're facing right now will be addressed and adjustments will be made. And hopefully going forward, we can avoid ending up in this situation again.
Yes, because we will be putting in policies in place that it will be brought forth to you all to vote on as well, but there will be policy, there'll be procedures, there'll be administrative regulations that are put in place that will sustain, hopefully, and guide whoever comes in after to continue on in compliance.
And will that include the banking shortfalls that we have currently had to contend with, so that, again, we don't have a repeat
Yes,
of,
yes.
I'm not sure why you're talking right now, though. No, I'm saying, what was your question? Oh, okay, I'm sorry, I didn't understand you. No, at this time, this is totally deliberation by the commission. Sorry. Thank you.
Mayor Bab, I have a question.
Yes, Vice Mayor.
I would like to know the up to $85,000 figure that they have here. How was that? How did they come about with that figure based on the work that's going to be performed?
It is industry standard for the hourly rate with the team that I do have in place to get this done in a short period of time. So my hourly rate for the firm is $150 an hour. That is not just myself. That is myself and my executive team. I don't know if that answered your question.
so you said that you should be able to get through everything within 6 months.
Yes, ma'am.
What kind of provisions do you have in place to ensure that you keep it within that time frame? I understand sometimes it takes longer than we initially anticipate, but potentially it could extend beyond that.
The only provision that I do have that is not in the contract is that I need a point of contact at the city so that when I do request documents and any other type of information that I do get that back in a reasonable time frame. And if we just don't have it, then someone can say we just don't have it and we're not making things up. I need to be as open and transparent with the OIG and the state as possible. And if we don't, then we don't, and we'll say we don't have it, but this is what we're implementing moving forward. They'll see the corrective actions and we can go ahead and move forward from that finding. That's really my provision, is that I get a reasonable response time from administration and sometimes the commission so that I can move forward with my work.
I do think that we're able to accommodate that request. I don't foresee that you will have any issues with our administration, but certainly if you do, you can reach out to the commission so that we can do what we need to do to ensure that there are no slowdowns and issues in that regard.
If I do run into that where I'm seeing that it's cutting into my time, then I'll make more aggressive requests, like access to some IT softwares and such that normally contractors don't have access to. But in order to move this forward in the time frame that I'm providing, then I will come forth and ask for that. I will be more aggressive in my ask. Any other questions so far?
Mayor Bab, I have several questions, but it's not for Ms. Reyes. So do I need to wait for us to put a motion on the floor first, or do I ask those questions now?
You're able, once there's a motion and a second, we can go into questions at that time.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
okay.
And what other cities did Ms. Reyes says that she has worked with?
I've worked with City of Hollandale, City of North Miami Beach, City of North Miami, which I'm currently at, City of Miami, just to name a few. I don't have that on me right now. I also have good reference in working with the county in Miami-Dade County over there as well. So
I would ask one question.
And it
'cause
has been for OIG reports, the same scope of work that's listed here for the city of Pahokee.
it has been to bring in their situation into compliance, just to not go into detail.
And just for public records, are you have any past relationship with the intern city manager?
No, I do not have
And
any
how would
past
you
relationship.
notified of this proposal or request?
I was actually contacted through a third party. She's not even here. Her name is Rasha Kamo, and she told me that Pahokee was having issues in their finance department. Later on, I was connected with Ms. Kamitra and then put in contact with the interim city manager. So I have no relationships now. Hoping to build some, but not right now.
In
How did she
addition,
say she was contacted, Mayor Bab?
could you,
I was contacted through an outside party. Her name is Rasha Kemo. She contacted me and told me that the city of Pahokee was having issues with their finance in their finance area. Later on, she asked me if I was available for some work. I told her yes, and then she put me in contact with Ms. Kamitra, and then that's how the relationship started, or the request came forth.
She said an outside party. Who was the outside party?
Her name is Rasha Kamo.
Her name is who?
Rasha Kamo.
Who?
Rasha Kamo.
And does she work for the city of Pahokee? I'm just saying, how would she know about the city of Pahokee finances?
Well, it's an OIG report out there, so I think that's public record. I'm not sure how she found out.
any additional questions from the commission? Hearing none, we have resolution before us. What would be your pleasure?
Well, Mr. Mayor,
Yes.
I just need a little bit of cleanup for the contract. There's an area in it that is highlighted. I'm not sure if it's on your version or not, but it is 4.3B, and we need to know the payment schedule, should you approve this, for how the firm is going to be paid. The proposal that was submitted was $150 an hour, and I guess it would be up to the $85,000, but it's for a 6-month period, so I wasn't sure if that was supposed to be in installments, and the 150 was kind of a guide, or if it was a straight 150 billing that you would be doing.
I'll be billing 150, and it'll probably be bi-weekly, just to keep
Okay.
everything in order.
And through your billing process, would it be something like a billing of a lawyer where you kind of have an itemized list
Yes.
of what you've done and who worked on it? And
Yes,
that
it
part?
will, and it's required for auditing purposes anyway. It can't be vague. It has to be actually itemized. So yeah, you'll get the itemized invoice.
And so mainly all of the work is pretty much is going to be for the OIG report.
No, that's 50% of the work. The other 50% is going to be assessing your finance and budget department and making sure that they're in compliance. I gotta make sure that the day-to-day when I leave remains compliant as reported to the state through the OIG report.
And would the majority of your work, if not all, be done primarily at City Hall?
There will be touching points at the city hall because I have to come in and assess to be able to really see the operations that happen on a daily basis. Some of it is virtual, some of it is on site. I will coordinate with city administration on those on-site visit days. So it's pretty half and half. You'll be seeing me around until this is over. Hopefully not as much. If I'm here more than that, then we got to come back to the table.
So the only thing I want to just make sure I'm putting it on the record or whatever is there are finance director services that are required by the city's code, and so this is not to conflict with those things, and so the city will still need to determine how it's going to deal with the finance director position issues, those things that are in the city code that are required. I wrote you all a memo on it, and so I pulled it from the code so that you see it. You probably want to have some discussion about that, since what they put in their proposal is that they are not going to be doing those things. So the question is, are those things going to continue with the current staff that you have right now, so that you make sure that from the jump, you're not getting into a situation where you could be in any kind of a conflict with the code or with your proposal.
Okay.
Mayor, if I may speak, this firm is going to do the same duties that the prior consultant was doing, in addition to some more cleanup. We had a consultant that didn't conflict with the past financial director, so she'll be performing those duties. She'll be billing like the previous consultant. The previous consultant would do their work, their hours, and would send us an invoice. She'll be doing the same thing. So it wouldn't be a conflict because we've had a finance director working with the previous consultant. So we're going to move forward. And the difference also is with our finance director, our assistant finance director, and our accounts payable, I have streamlined those duties where we know more about what's going on. And she'll be that person to come in to clean up. So we don't have the audits where every year there's an issue. So I'm asking for this approval because we have budget coming up, we have audits coming up, and we need to have someone in place that's qualified to get these things done. And she'll be doing what our previous consultant was doing. And everyone has to work together as a team. She'll be working with our finance director, she'll be working with our assistant director, she'll be working with accounts payable, but she'll have her duties that she'll be, billing us for just as before.
Okay. Just for clarification too, and I don't want to speak for the city attorney, but it was a statement made that some of the outlines in her agreement don't coincide with some of the things that need to be done. Are we going to do the remaining part in-house, or how would that be bridged where there is no gap between what is requested and what they're going to be responsible for?
What things are you referring to?
Could you mention, I think in her email, she did mention and outline some of those things.
So there is in the powers and duties of the finance director, as in section 2-293 of the code, have to do with, and it's a long list, but planning, assigning, directing, supervising, coordinating various citywide accounting and related fiscal activities, make recommendations with respect to implementation of improvements needed to effect more efficient use of personnel, and equipment, make recommendations and decisions regarding operational policies, expenditures, plans, and other administrative matters as they affect the department, prepare and administer the department budget, plan and direct the overall development and operational controls and techniques for the maintenance of the central accounting system, participate in the preparation of the annual citywide budget, making forecasts on the revenues, expenditures, indebtedness, its interest, et cetera, for the upcoming year, supervise and direct gathering, interpreting, recording, and distributing financial data, prepare and supervise, prepare and financial records and reports, monitor fiscal activities, and ensure compliance with the applicable federal, state, county, and municipal requirements, coordinate fiscal services and other municipal departments, exercise supervision over special funds, negotiate safe investments for special funds and record keeping of the funds, invest temporarily idle funds to ensure maximum return consistent with sound investment policies, compile, prepare, and present financial records and reports on regular schedule or upon request, supply specific information to investment firms, administrative officials, the city commission, the general public, and individuals requesting financial data, participate in the analysis of city financial policies, interpret financial and accounting data, formulate recommendations for action by the city manager and the city commission, review results of auditors and responsibility for corrective action if necessary, prepare annual financial report as required by the charter, prescribe accounting forms and procedures, supervise continuous audit of units handling cash and maintaining the accounting records, make recommendation in the interest of the city that eligible applicants be hired to fill department vacancies and that subordinate employees be reassigned, transferred, disciplined, suspended, terminated, promoted, or commended, participate in the adjustment of grievances, confer with the and advise subordinates concerning difficult work problems or regarding the development and installation of new work procedures and policies, conduct staff studies, recommend policy and management systems that affect the overall city to ensure proper accountability to control operations, work closely with the city manager and other department heads concerning the automated accounting systems in developing new data processing applications for financial management and control, set priorities, and give general direction to financial data processing activities, responsibility for the preparation of bonds of indebtedness and for the collection of revenues through association with the national technical societies, trade and professional associations, other governmental jurisdictions, and private businesses. Keep informed of current developments in the field of purchasing, pricing, market conditions, and new products. Receive and verify requisitions and determine propriety and property proposed purchases. Consolidate departmental requisitions and possible develop the consult list of appropriate vendors and prepare formal or informal bids, invitations, and appropriate. Receive and analyze quotations and bids for relative prices and consistency with specifications. Select best bid and prepare and award contracts to vendors for purchases or prepare recommendations for action by the city manager or city commission. Supervise the preparation of specifications for the purchase of equipment, materials, and services. Keep currently informed of laws, rules, and regulations affecting the relationship of principal and agent, as well as those affecting contracts and delivery material, and conduct studies for the improvement of procurement and supply policies and practices. It goes on, but basically, these are some of the duties, and there are like, I guess about 7 more paragraphs. So these are some of the things that would be done. I can read the rest of it if you want me to.
Mr. Love, you out of order, sir. We in a meeting. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, I can read the rest if you want me to, but those are the kind of things.
If I may, normally when the
And some of these are in that I heard you read, or some of these are in the scope of work that the consultant will be doing.
Well, in the scope of work as a matter of technical guide or assistance in, normally when you have an absence of a finance director, but you have an assistant finance director, that assistant finance director steps in as the interim finance director and takes on those duties to make those decisions. I'm not coming in to make those final decisions on behalf of the city of Pahokee in that capacity as a finance director, but I can assist and guide and prep the individual in that seat until you get a actual finance director to make those decisions.
if we
And
have,
as I stated, we are in the process of hiring a financial director.
What's the status of that, the finance director position? What's the current status of it as far as, we set up interviews?
Yes, HR has reached out to the candidate and interviews are being set up. And so, whatever time it takes to pass background and the things, we're hoping a couple of weeks. But we are planning interviews for the finance director.
and in the interim, have you named or planning on appointing an interim finance director? Someone who would be responsible for the day-to-day and can be trained along during that time. We have Ms. Angela here for 6 months, so it would be great if, and you're starting the process of hiring, interviewing, that's great, but it would be great if we have the actual finance director here on board, that they can benefit from some of her experience and knowledge in moving our finance department forward.
Okay, correct. And as stated, we have an assistant finance director who has moved into assisting with the finance director's responsibilities because we don't have one. So we have someone that's been here and they're filling in, thus the reason to get someone in here to take care of those things that will keep us from having issues as we prepare to hire a finance director. So that is already being done. We have someone who has stepped in, but we don't want the duties to cross, and that's why we're trying to get someone in to get us on the right track until we hire the finance director, which will be soon.
And Matt Babb, looking at the information that the city attorney sent us, and I know this is something that needs to be done, but looking at the recommendations from the city attorney, are we going to take those into consideration, or are we going to ignore what the attorney is saying that we need to propose for the city commission consideration a resolution that will not conflict with the current responsibilities? Because some of those responsibilities that I just heard read off is also in that contract for Ms. Reyes. And so are we going to ignore what the recommendations of the attorney is and just move forward with voting on this? Or are we going to be in compliance and look at the recommendations that were proposed to us?
Vice Mayor?
Yeah.
So what I proposed is not, this was written before we got the update of the new proposal from Ms. Reyes. So the memorandum was done when we had the first proposal, which was to be the finance director. So since then, they gave Ms. Reyes gave another proposal, and that proposal, I believe, would be in line with our code. So as long as what the managers, the interim manager is saying is she has someone who is in place, who is doing all of these other things that are required by the code in an assistant finance director position pending her hiring someone. So one of the recommendations I made was making all efforts to hire a qualified finance director for the city who is familiar with municipal finance matters. And that is what she says she is doing. Another thing that I recommended was if you are seeking consulting support services for a finance director position, consider developing a scope of services that does not conflict with the current code of ordinances. And so I believe they've done that. And then the third thing, and I've also written the contract so that that's clear. And then the third thing is, after clarifying a scope of services, which has been done, provide resumes and references for consideration by the City Commission for a financial consultant that will support the finance director's responsibilities. And so she has stated, Ms. Reyes has stated on the record her qualifications, other cities that she's represented, and the team that she will have to work with the city. So it looks like
Were we provided those documents, or that's just something that she just stood up to tell us? So did we get the documentation?
well, one of the things that you did get was a recommendation when she did send back the revised proposal. There was a recommendation letter from a Tony Brunson,
I
who
have-
is a CPA,
And I have-
and it looks like she has some other recommendations perhaps with her at this time to give to the clerk.
If I may, I read here in the resolution that the consultant does not intend to replace the finance director position. So I would say that if they're here to ensure that we are in compliance with those requirements identified by the OIG report, that everything has to be looked at. But that's not necessarily to say that, everything will need to be changed or amended or what have you. But for sure, you cannot ensure that everything is in compliance if you don't look at everything. But if we have a finance director here working alongside her, then of course, those duties that are the responsibility of the finance director will be taken care of by the finance director and not the consultant. So again, she's here to oversee and ensure that there's given attention to those areas that need correcting, but not to step in and do the job of the finance director. So we're all here to work with her and ensure that she has access to the records that she's going to need to assist her in doing so.
And through the mayor, Commissioner McDonald, you're absolutely right, and it's written in a way that does not conflict. In addition to that, I think that what they have said is that one of the things that you said was that everything may not have to be done. You're right, because some of the things in the OIG report were things that you all actually had rules and policies and procedures on, but they just weren't followed. And so, they may have recommendations to tighten things up or make it easier to follow or whatever the case may be, but they may not necessarily have to touch everything. And then there's also been a few policies that have been given to me that I've reviewed, and I will certainly give them the benefit of whatever the review is, and they can,
Thank you.
decide what they like
Appreciate
to do with those as well.
Thank you.
Question, Attorney, this resolution and this contract that we have before us, have you reviewed everything in here and that is not in conflict with any of our ordinances? Let's say, other than the issue that you point out in the 4.3?
Yes, that's correct. In fact, what you see under Exhibit A is all I did was I took their proposal and I made their proposal the things that were listed in their proposal, I put it in the scope of services. The only added thing was when we got the revised proposal, it had OIG activities, and so I took that from the last when it came to you were considering another, Ms. Bussey was going to bring somebody back before, but then they decided to take it in-house. But I had already done a bunch of work, and I actually went through all of the lines to see what was required by that, and I put those things in there. And so the contract is fine. I did take out from the standard contract some of the things that I didn't think applied, like the insurance requirements. You will see that stricken through on some of them. I'm sure they have basic insurance if they represent governmental entities, but some of the things like the bodily injury of $1 million, and I removed I think some vehicle insurance or something like that. But for the most part, it's a standard contract that I'm sure they're used to seeing in their other work with governmental entities.
Yes, that's correct.
May I speak? This is my concern. I'm just trying to determine, and I know this was put on the last agenda by Commissioner McPherson, and he said he wanted this to be something that we look into on a future agenda item. We just voted on that at the last meeting, but then I see here we're having a special meeting on it today. But my concern is it's up to $85,000, and we're not putting anything out for bid. So here's my concern. Interim manager told us she had a strategic planner. She changed the position from the grant writer, and she said she was going to have someone from the inside to do a lot of this work. So here it is now. We want to pay up to $85,000 for someone to do this work. We changed the position from a grant writer to a strategic planner who was supposed to be working on She specifically said the OIG. So now we're going to be paying 3 people to do this, the manager, the strategic planner, and now we're going to pay up to $85,000 for a consultant to do this work when we were told that that's why the position of the grant writer was changed. I don't know what the strategic planner's job description is, but this is what was said in the meeting. So my concern is, where is all of what line item is this money coming from, and why are we paying 3 people to do the OIG work? That's my concern, and we're not even putting the job out for bid. And my other concern is we went all the way to another county. We're saying we want to build our relationship back in Palm Beach County, but we skipped over Palm Beach County, not even put the bid out at all. So I guess we don't have anybody qualified in Palm Beach County to even do this scope of work, because we didn't put it out for a bid and we're just choosing people, and that's a concern of mine. We had someone, Susan, and I know the interim manager said Susan wanted a contract. Susan has done work for the city. Do we have a contract to look at from Susan so we can see how we get more bang from our buck? We only just have one contract that has been brought before us. I get it and understand the work needs to be done. But we skip, and we say we want to hire for hosting, but we skipped all over Palm Beach County and gone to another county, and we didn't even put the job out in Palm Beach County for a bid to see if we can even get more bang for our buck. And so that's a concern of mine, that we're just voting on it. And I know the commission can vote to approve it, but again, why is it not going out for RFP?
Okay. The reason this one didn't go out, it does not have to go out for bid. The accounting services, according to our city ordinance, section 2-2725, says under the city's purchasing code, this particular position does not have to go out for bid. As far as the strategic planner, that position was submitted to you all with job duties along with the resolution. So she is working and taking care of the duties that she was assigned to do. And with this is not the one that Mr. McPherson recommended. Mr. McPherson recommended investigation to pursue litigation as far as the misappropriated funds. This does not have, okay. But as far as the mitigation of misappropriated funds.
My recommendation at the last commission meeting was for us to hire, to look at hiring a consultant to make sure that we're in compliance with the OIG finding, preparing the proper responses as far as the corrective action plan. That was mine in the last meeting. And I think we did mention it going out for bid, but if we have an ordinance that don't have to be that, I'm all for, as long as we're in compliance with our ordinances and our.
But I'll say this also, just because it doesn't have to go out for bid, don't mean that's not a good practice to perform and to do. So it's okay to do it because it don't have to, but that shouldn't be the question. The answer may be, because of the time restraint, you need to make it.
That was my concern.
In addition to not having to go out, so
Right.
you got to put something out there other than just not have to.
And that's the concern.
My future agenda item at the last meeting was recommending that we get a consultant to come in, agency to come in and assist us with preparing the corrective action plan for that OIG finding that they're supposed to be following up on. This doesn't have anything to do with our state audits and our annual audits. Those are taken care of.
In interim, I would ask this also, just out of curiosity, did you speak with Ms. Susan? Because she's actually, I don't know how often she worked, but she's still doing work for the city of Pahokee. I'm just asking, did you look at that and see if she's able to do any or most of it or all of it? Just curious.
I did speak to Miss Susan, and the last invoice that Miss Susan has submitted was in July 2025. And I spoke with her in reference to what she was, about to do to assist us. Miss Susan sent me an email saying that because her contract wasn't brought to the commission meeting, which again, I'm looking at the fact that we failed 3 audits in the last 3 years. And so I'm looking at her email that said that she was no longer working with us, and she would send us an invoice for January the 26th and January 29th, when she did come into the office and we spoke, and she billed us for that, and all we had was a conversation. And so with me looking to fix where we are, Mayor, we can't keep delaying. They're coming back next month according to the instruction that we have. I'm trying to do something to clean up our city, to make all of us look better to our citizens, because, we're having issues, and this firm is capable. Their experience, as she's explained, will help us get back on track to clean it up. And as far as the 85, we always put up to an amount up to. This young lady's not saying that it's going to cost $85,000. We always put an up to amount. She stated that she is charging $150 an hour for her team. Susan was charging $120 an hour just for her. And to be honest with you all, I barely saw her when I came in October. And so we have to look to do better. We keep saying that we want to do better. We want to, protect ourselves. We want to pass our audits, but we can't do it without the proper people in place. So that's my opinion on it. I respect everybody on what you're saying, but let's just keep it real. How are we going to do better if we don't bring people in to help us do it? And I didn't have to put this out for bid, and that's why I'm here now for your approval. That's where, where we are with it, looking for the experienced people to get it done. And that's all I'm asking.
I have a question, Mayor Bell. I see she said, the interim manager saying we need experienced people to do it, but we've hired her. I haven't heard her say from her job description, she has a part in this too, and she hired the strategic planner. So I'm thinking with her and the strategic planner that she hired, she said that that's what the strategic planner was going to work on. And we keep finding money to do, it look like administrative duties that some of this responsibility goes on. We're paying our manager $10,000 a month, but it seems like we keep hiring people to do the job. I mean, we got to be honest too. The manager has a responsibility to this city as well for $10,000 a month.
The manager is the
A corrective
manager.
action plan is what we're asking to be done. A corrective action plan that manager, I think, should be responsible for, along with the strategic planner that she has hired.
I'm responsible.
That's manager and not finance director. 2 different things.
I do get it.
Now, I think too, to bring out, and I'm not trying to interpret what the Vice Mayor is saying, what she's saying is that earlier we had put out, had a resolution to hire a consultant, and for some reason the manager did indicate that they would do it in-house. And it may have been a change between now and then.
You looking at me, y'all change every week.
I'm just talking, I'm not just looking at you.
I'm like, y'all change every week. Miss Susan been here 3 years and y'all still behind. Y'all still want Miss Susan?
So,
All right,
She still want Miss Susan.
I'm asking you not to talk
Well, you
right
looking
now.
at me like
So-
you
Okay, I'm looking at you, but I'm asking you not to talk. I didn't ask you a
No
question.
problem. I won't say nothing.
Okay.
But I want you to understand what I just said.
Mr.
So-
Love, you can't interrupt in this meeting. If you've interrupted one more time, I'm gonna ask you to leave. You can't keep jumping in, talking in a city commission meeting. No one do that in other cities. Commissioner McDonough.
So she referenced the ordinance that gives her the discretion not to do a request for proposal. And so if we need to put it on the screen so everybody can see it,
What-
I would say that let's do that so we can move on.
It's actually not her, this is you all's hire, right? So it's the discretion that you all have, but it's in the code. And so for certain types of professional services, you don't have to take it out for bid. You can, rely on expertise and resumes and, background and testimony and whatever else. You can rely on other things. But I think what the mayor was saying is just, it's best practice. But it sounds like, and, I'm not your manager, but it sounds like time is of the essence in terms of trying to, correct some of the things that you all have pending. And if you could either, choose to go with this firm or not, but you have a process that is proper in front of you. So I just wanted to, be clear that what's in front of you is proper.
That's
Yeah,
all I
it's
was
not
doing.
violating your code or anything like that.
I have a question about that. I just want to know what the line item in the book that this money coming from. Because if we hire our finance director, I just want to know where's the money coming from in the budget, what line item?
I didn't understand what she said.
It's a question
Oh,
for the
the
manager.
finance.
I think she was saying, where is the money coming
Where's the
from?
funding coming from?
Okay, for the consultant, it's coming from the same place the former consultant's pay was coming from. As far as the finance director, there's a finance director salary in the budget as well.
So where was the line item coming from again?
The financial consultant, Miss Susan, Miss Reyes will be paid out of the same line item, out of the same budget amount that's already budgeted for.
And how much was Miss Susan budgeted for?
She was being paid $120 an hour.
What was the total amount though in the budget for it?
Let me get that information for you. It was $40,000.
So where would the additional 45 come from?
It's not said that you're gonna need 45, it's said up to 85,000.
Well, I think if someone sees 85, I think if they know it's there, they're going to use it. But I'm just asking in case, where would it come from?
We have other areas that we could get it from, Vice Mayor.
I'm just asking where.
I can look at the budget and get back with you on that.
So we're going to approve something and we don't know exactly where the money is coming from.
We have areas to get the money, I just can't give you specifics right now.
That's not. I just think if this was something you was bringing to the commission, I just think that's something I would have brought. That if, thinking that's a question that could be asked, if they're going to ask where's the money coming from, and I would be able to let them know this is where the money is going to come from.
Vice Mayor,
Approve it, and then you get back with us.
okay, Vice Mayor, you had a consultant that sent an email saying that she no longer will be working with us. Now we have a consultant that we're attempting.
She was not working with us, but we didn't ask her. Did you ask her if she would provide services for this job?
We spoke about it, and it's the same position she was already in.
And I just don't understand why we're having a special meeting on it, and we just put it on the agenda last week. And we're having a special meeting on it. I mean, we've been having all these meetings. We had a meeting Tuesday. If this was of the essence, I didn't see really anything of substance on the agenda Tuesday. This could have been on the agenda Tuesday. How do we go from having a meeting Tuesday to Friday, and all of a sudden we need a special meeting on this? We didn't realize this Tuesday.
You left.
When we had the meeting? I'm not understanding. It's like we're finding money, but we can't find money to fix the roads, and we complain about the roads and everything else in the city, but we can't find money for that. I just don't think this would be a good decision and being good stewards over the city's money. When we're paying, we have staff that we've hired that's supposed to know how to do this type of work. We've hired these people, paying them, and we still gotta go outside and get someone else to do the job. I'm not understanding that.
Are there any,
We have paid staff.
are
The
there,
interim manager told us that the strategic planner she hired was going to be taking care of this, and now we're asking for up to $85,000.
Not true.
are there any additional questions from the commission?
I would just say, just as a point of clarification, this is an independent auditor, which would not fit the description of anyone that is already working for the city. So, just a point of clarification.
And just a point to notice too, for future reference, that if we do, as a commission, hire a consultant or a staff or whatever our role would be in the hiring process, we do need from the city manager a little more background information. We was able to get and ask some questions about her experience and her firm experience, but we didn't get a package with that, because we are making a decision and we're making it, pretty quickly, just based on verbal information that we received. I know we can get it at a later date, but there's nothing like having that beforehand, because we got to put everybody on the same standard. The previous city manager, you look for additional information prior to making a decision. So I'm just saying, in the future, that's the kind of information we would need to have and to be able to make an informed decision.
I do totally agree with that, but consistency is key.
Yes.
And if we're gonna do it in this instance, then roll the cameras back and identify all those other times that we haven't followed a certain standard with regards to a decision that's being made. Yeah, we should have gotten a packet. I can agree with that. But we have the young lady here answering any questions that we need, and I'm not advocating for her or anyone else. All I'm saying is that let's be consistent.
Yeah, if you listen closer to me, I say basically what you just
Don't tell me
said.
what to listen or how to listen.
Okay, well, I'll make the
I heard
statement
what you
again. I say, in the future,
Feel
what
free
would
to do so.
help the commission if we had a package? I say also that we was able to ask about her experience in things that would help us make a more informed decision, but just for future reference, that's all the reason I made that. All right, are there any additional questions from the commission? If not, I'll entertain a motion, if it's a desire of this commission to hire this consulting firm. I'll entertain a motion and possible second to move forward.
I make a motion that we hire them. Second.
Okay, it has been moved by Commissioner Scott and properly second by Commissioner McPherson that we hire this consulting firm to be our consulting firm on this particular resolution. Call for questions.
So, Mayor, for clarity, this is approval of Resolution 2026-05. Approval of Resolution 2026-05.
Yes.
Yes, just a comment, and I agree with the mayor. We gotta start doing best practices, and it's best if we have all the information up front before we make our decisions on these issues. We can't go by what happened in the past, and we are a new commission, and if we're gonna move forward, we just need to do things according to the procedure. And I know this is one of my recommendations as far as getting a firm to come in and help with the correction action forms, but we still have to do things according to policy. With the resolution being reviewed and the contract being in compliance to our ordinances according to the attorney, I recommend that we still go ahead and move forward with this particular
Just for the record, I
resolution.
do believe that that's what I said, that we should have had the packet.
Now, this
in front
don't,
of
this is me speaking. I ain't got nothing to do with nobody else's comment, because I'm the
I'm
one that
just
always say I
saying
stand on rules and
what I
policies
said.
and that kind of stuff.
did
This
say
really
that.
just don't have anything to do with what you
I
said.
did say that we should have had the packet. And so, just for the record.
Any additional comments or questions?
I just want to say again, Mayor Bear, I don't think that, we have staff, a board that we are already paying a salary for. I just don't think this would be a good idea and a good way to spend the city's money. We're supposed to be making decisions that are best for the city, and this OIG report corrective action plans, I believe we've hired a interim manager and she's hired a strategic manager, and everyone is supposed to be working together. I still believe that they should be able to do the work. We should not have to go out and be paying 3 people. Now we're going to be paying 3 people to do the OIG report. 3 people. And 1 person is going to do the job. I just don't think that's a good decision that, we vote and pass this for the city. I don't think it's a good.
Any additional questions or comments? Hearing none, are you ready for a vote? Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Commissioner Scott,
Yes.
Commissioner McPherson,
Yes,
Commissioner McDonald,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Calvin Williams,
No.
Mayor Bab.
Yes. Motion passed by majority, 4-1 vote. Next, we'll have public comments. City Clerk, at this time, do we have any public comments cards completed by our residents?
Yes, sir. We have 2 public comments, and the first one will be Mr. Tamarcus Porter.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I got a quick question. Is there any type of action or recourse of corrective action for a commissioner who just walks out of a meeting? Or are y'all just allowed to do that and then just return back to the seat and just bark out different crazy questions and act like nothing's wrong with that? Or is there some type of workshop y'all can do to kind of hold each other accountable for stuff like that? Or if Vice Mayor Cohen wants to speak on her behavior, that's fine. Or I just want to know if that's appropriate or acceptable by the commission for somebody to act like that. That's supposed to be a vice mayor. So that's cool? I mean, I'm just asking a question. That's cool, Mayor Bab, for somebody to act like that?
No, what I'm trying to do now is just allow residents
Okay,
to
okay, I'm gonna
express
keep
their
talking. All right,
comments,
that's
and
cool.
at some point
All
we'll
right, so
address it.
I just want y'all to think about that. Let's just think about it. I ain't gonna say too much. I'm gonna chill today and let y'all have it. But I just want y'all to think about that. Somebody walks out and then comes back and then acts a fool, holds up the meeting for a whole hour. This is a 10-minute meeting. She holds up for an hour, and y'all okay with that? At some point, we got to start holding y'all. Y'all are supposed to be held to a higher standard up there. Y'all supposed to be the example. Y'all supposed to be leading the city. And we got people that once they say something, somebody was even speaking to her. Somebody said something to you, Mayor Bab. She interjects, and then when they respond to her, she gets up and walks out like a little baby. This ain't elementary school. She trying to act like y'all are 3rd graders, like she teaching her school. No, this is not that. Y'all are all grown people up there with fine minds. Y'all should be able to work together and without somebody micromanaging, like, and just holding us up for no reason. Like this stuff, like, come on, man, come on, this stuff is right in our view. It's in plain view. Let's stop acting like we crazy. Like, let's just, please, I'm gonna leave it at that.
The last comment is Mr. Robert Love.
Every time I come here, I get the dumbest stuff I ever seen, and then they may have a statement to say they don't act like that in other commissions. You need me to put up some commissioners commission meetings where they act worse than this? I'm being nice compared to the way some people act. And then, like I said, I called you on the phone, and I wanted to say well wishes to you because I know you were sick, but I see you wouldn't answer my call and you wouldn't call me back. But that's good. I won't call you no more. And the other thing, every time Miss Bussy opened her mouth about doing anything in this community, Miss Coward, Miss Don't Like a Coward, is going to have something to say about it. She done sat her behind on the phone and heard the attorney say this was proper and this was right. But I know she don't want nobody going to the OIG because she part of that problem that was before. And just like I'm saying now, have y'all looked at the video that we pulled up yesterday from where y'all sat up there with Michael Jackson, Mr. Mike Filson, and y'all sat up there and y'all didn't go through none of the process that y'all going through now? Y'all skipped over everything and then y'all did what y'all wanted to do. But now every time it look up, oh, we got to have these proper procedures. We got to do this and we got to do that. And each one of y'all seem like y'all done been in cahoots talking. The way y'all sit up there in the meetings and the way everything be going on, I'm 69 years old. I ain't 9 years old. I done seen this junk before. I done been coming to these meetings 20-something years. And people gonna try to tell me what I don't see. You see Miss Cowan talking? All of y'all on a whole different level. She up there trying to stop it. She ain't only one vote. She done forgot about that. She used to call everybody in here every day, all night. She used to call me 20 times a day sometime. Now she can't call me because she know I can't be manipulated. I don't know where the manipulations come in and where y'all be part of something where somebody that when they get through talking, you see how dumb they are. That's what Miss McCowan, Miss McCowan, Miss Cowan Williams or whatever, she just as ignorant as a puppy when the attorney done set up here and say this what we need. The OIG done said this what we need. And I'm looking at this young lady. She look like she just as intelligent as anyone who we done had. Y'all say y'all have Miss Susan. She been here 3 years and ain't done nothing toward the OIG. I done sat here and seen the finance director and everybody ain't did nothing towards the OIG report. I done sat up here and watch y'all. Y'all won't say nothing about the money that's missing. Cause here's somebody will tell y'all ain't no money missing, this just been mismanagement. The OIG ain't telling nobody the money been mismanagement. They say $2 or $3 million missing. I can't get y'all to talk about that for nothing, cause time you say something, oh, we don't want to talk about that. That's Miss Cowan deal right now. Don't nobody want to go into this about the OIG. Cause y'all know we're gonna dig up some old bones, and some of them bones gonna be some of y'all's. And you can sit there and act like you don't understand what's being said when it's being said. Y'all need to stop being acting like you're ignorant and when you know you got some sense. I could understand if I thought you were some dummies. But y'all
Your time is up, Mr. Love.
I'm finna sit down too.
Okay. Having entertained and taken care of our special meeting business and having had public comments, we're complete with our agenda. I'll entertain a motion for the adjournment of the meeting.
Make a motion that we adjourn the meeting.
Second.
It has been moved by Commissioner McPherson and properly second by Commissioner McDonough for the adjournment of the meeting. Call for question, hearing none, roll call, Madam Clerk.
Commissioner McPherson? Commissioner McPherson?
Yes.
Commissioner McDonald?
Yes.
Commissioner Scott?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Calvin Williams? Vice Mayor Calvin Williams?
Yes.
Mayor Bab?
Yes. Thank you. Motion passed, unanimous vote. Meeting adjourned at 5:15 p.m. I call this workshop to order. It's in reference to discussing any proposed litigation as it resulted in the OIG finding.
Mayor,
And
Mr. Mayor.
we're just going to do roll call, if
Oh,
you
okay.
could, just for the record. Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Mayor Bab,
Present.
Vice Mayor Calvin Williams,
Here.
Commissioner McDonald,
Yes.
Commissioner McPherson,
Present.
Commissioner Scott,
Present.
Interim City Manager,
President.
City Attorney,
Here.
City Clerk is present.
And we'll allow the city attorney to make
Okay.
some comments.
Since this relates to litigation issues, I wanted to open up by saying I know that this had been a concern for at least one of the commissioners in terms of pursuing people who previously would be, I guess, implicated by the OIG findings. And I wanted to just, kind of, I did send you all an email not long ago, which just sort of laid out the differences between civil actions and criminal actions, and I tried to give you some framework for discussion of this meeting so that you would, you would understand that the two are not really merged. The things that the city would be doing have to do with civil actions, right? Not criminal actions. That's the state attorney's office. And so the OIG report deals with findings that are from some time ago, and I was looking for the exact period of time, and I'll find it in just a second, but it's from years ago, basically. Here it is. The audit was conducted on the city's accounts payable expenditures and cash disbursements process. The audit focused on accounts payable and cash disbursement activities from 10/1/2017 through 6/27/2022, and credit card transactions from 10/4/2017 through 1/10/2023. In short, the OIG found that the city had written guidance in place which established controls over the accounts payable expenditures and cash disbursements process. However, there was a lack of knowledge of the responsibilities, this is from their reports, and requirements at all levels of personnel. So a part of that and a part of their recommendations was also dealing with training issues. So the issues that are what people do in civil cases, and I'm a trial lawyer. I've tried a lot of cases in my almost 35-year career, and I will tell you what, in cases like this, what you would want to see is something from the state attorney's office saying that this is a criminal issue and therefore, we're going to take action, or even if they didn't, this is a criminal issue and these are things that we found wrong but we're not prosecuting. Here, we don't have any of that. The biggest thing that you have that points to anything that you would be looking at would be something dealing with Mr. Williamson, for which the statute of limitations has run. And so, and I understand he's paid back the money already, so I don't even know what the damages would be in that case. There's really, so when people are saying, and I know there may be public outcry to do something in particular, but for the things that are mentioned in this last report, there's not really a issue that you would be pursuing. You know what I mean? There's not an issue there. So in terms of the one that the city would be civilly pursuing, because again, we don't have the option of prosecuting anyone from a criminal standpoint. That's the state attorney's job. And so, I just wanted to, whatever you all decide to do, I just want to kind of properly frame it in a way, because I think the motion was made to just have somebody contacted and, start doing some work and suing. But an attorney would be happy to have a field day to go out and, try to find something and bill you for it. But as your city attorney, I feel that it is my responsibility to let you know that really would not be an appropriate action on the part of the city, because you have to have a cause of action before you go and, kind of file lawsuits against people. And if you don't have a cause of action, that allows for folks to then come back and sue you all for, it could be issues of slander or libel, or issues of, what they call a bad faith lawsuit, which allows for attorney's fees when there's no real, it may make you feel good to say we're just gonna, slap a lawsuit on somebody, but here, the statute of limitations is a big issue because I don't know what the claims would be, but having said that, I just wanted to kind of put that on the record so that you at least had the benefit of my thoughts on the issue. Thank you.
Thank you. And I'll say this also, that the OIG report was submitted to the state attorney's office, a full report, and there was no prosecution in that. We, and some have suggested that we try to sue who we feel were the defendants or who was at fault in that lawsuit. And then we don't have any definite amount of money that we can say for sure that they took or totally mismanaged themselves, and it was intent of taking from the city. And I'm like Mrs. Weeks, you can find a lawyer willing to say, I'll sue anybody you want me to sue, you're paying for it, and we could be countersued on top of that if we not successful. So I'm not in favor of it. I was in favor of at least having the workshop, because if any commissioner asks for anything and we get a majority of this commission in favor of doing it, we do it, whether it's a meeting, whatever it may be. And it's the same thing here. If the majority of 3 commissioners as a majority say we want to go out and just start suing folks, and this is who we're going to sue, and we're going to sue them for $100,000 or $100 million. We can do some crazy things if we choose to do that, but we got to look at the rationale behind what would be the success rate, what are we trying to accomplish, and if we did was successful in accomplishing anything we probably get, if we got anything, would be owed probably back to the state. And we're not investigators. I don't know who's going to go out and do the investigation. We already got an OIG report, and it's already out there for the record. I don't think that's going to be enough to award us any type of damage. So I'm going to just say it off the top of my head in the beginning that I'm not in favor of going out and suing. We need to, it happen, and I'm not saying we just wash our hands of it. Ain't much we can do, I'll put it that way. I don't see much we can do, but probably get sued ourselves and continue to have a negative image in the public because we continue to bring it up. We're trying to fix things that we can fix. We're trying to correct things that we say we're going to work on and correcting, and those are things we should have our focus on and move it forward from that day on. Anybody can chime in, though. We just got to open as a workshop.
Anyone else have anything that they like to say to me before I ask the attorney a question? Is it your job to defend and prosecute for the city? Is that your job? That's what I'm asking.
When there are lawsuits, yes, sir.
Okay.
And when you say prosecute, I'm not.
Well,
I don't prosecute criminally. If you're talking about municipal code actions, sometimes there are. Sometimes there are. And let me explain. Sometimes there are municipal code issues that you may have an open container case or something like that where the state attorney's office will, because they no longer do that for the cities, they'll call and they'll say, do you want this? Do you want to prosecute this or whatever? And then we will call the city manager and say, do you want to prosecute this? And 9 times out of 10, they don't, because it's not worth it. But it may be something like that. That's what it means. It doesn't mean, it's things dealing with your municipal code. It's not, criminal prosecution. That's not what that means. And it's in all codes, just so you know.
Okay.
And I do defend the city in cases that are not represented by the League of Cities. And I've done that consistently, and we've been successful in many of those cases. But that's a very different issue. Those are civil cases. And, there are cases that are, where the value is not anything major in dispute.
Okay, I wasn't questioning that. But I do have one question. We had one city manager that the city took to court. How did that happen?
I'm not sure what case you're talking about.
Mr. Greg Thompson.
I don't know. I didn't handle that issue, and I'm not
I
sure.
We had a OIG report on him about some four-wheelers, but it made it to court. And I'm just wondering, how did that make it to court and none of the other things make it to court?
I don't
well,
know.
I can ask the mayor.
Well, I filed a complaint,
Right.
and I wasn't notified he went to court or was prosecuted or was attempted to be prosecuted. I know there was an OIG finding on it,
Mhm.
and they did concur whatever he did was improper.
So the city didn't take
No,
him to
we
court?
didn't initiate anything. I'm the mayor, and if we had a lawsuit, my name would have been on it somewhere or the other, and I probably would have been called in as a witness one way or the other, and I didn't have that happen.
So the city didn't?
I'm not aware of it. That's
Okay,
what I'm
I'm just
telling you.
asking.
Yeah,
I'm just
no,
asking.
it's not to my knowledge.
Oh, okay. But because I know before I became a commissioner, I was sitting there and I heard Commissioner McPherson, McWilliam, Babb, and Bolden and Mervyn all asked you about pursuing money from those guys up on the pier up there on the dike that had that, and they voted and it said yes, but nothing ever happens.
Yeah, I don't know that was a vote, but what they said was to look at the contract, and so I did meet, although this is not the issue that's before us, but I did meet with the city manager. The city manager gave the information that he gave, and it had to do with storage of vehicles and different other things that are not a part of the contract and things that did not present a cause of action. So, but it was not a vote to sue. It was to look at the issue, which we did. So I'm not, again, I'd have to pull out the documents or whatever to look at that, but that's not the issue before us. So I won't go into that anymore. But I'm happy to talk with you offline about
but
it.
it's a problem because here's the thing. I'm glad we're on this live stream, right? I'll make sure we record this because the first time I brought this up about going at the $3.7 million, you and Mayor Babb asked me to go civil instead of criminal.
We don't do criminal.
Okay,
You
hold on. Okay.
misunderstand
I know I didn't misunderstand you. I understood exactly what you said.
But that's not what we do. We don't.
Okay,
when
all
you say
right,
go
I understand
criminal,
that.
that's the
Okay, I
state
got you.
attorney.
I got you. But here's the
But
thing.
you
I understand
couldn't
that.
if you're saying that.
Okay, but I'm saying what you said.
No, I didn't say go. Well, what I said was it should
Careful,
go
it's
through
being
the state
recorded.
attorney's office. Yes, meaning when you say go criminal, we don't.
No, I'm just saying
we don't go criminal. It's not us. It goes through the state attorney's office because it is a criminal action. That's what I would have been trying to communicate.
Okay,
to allow the state attorney's office to first look at the issue. That would have been what I would have been
Because
communicating.
when they do a report, they can't accuse anyone of doing anything. They just lay out the facts of what the findings are. That's all they do. It's up to the city.
No,
to-
it's not. That's not true.
Okay.
So if you say, you can say it, but it's not true. What had happened was the OIG did some findings. And the OIG's job is that if at the end of whatever investigation they do, if they believe that there is something that they want to send over to the state attorney's office to determine whether intent can be proved or whatever else. But it's not the city. The city is not doing anything. And but anyway, I'll try to ignore
All right,
people in the audience because
I hear you.
I'm telling you what the facts are. I have
Okay.
it's
Okay,
not
I
about
hear-
me. I don't have any reason to not want you to
Well, I'm gonna put it
prosecute
this way,
whoever
right?
you want to
I'm gonna
prosecute.
put Attorney Weeks. I'm just gonna put it this way. I personally would feel a little bit more better if another attorney looked at this case and tell me that.
But what case are you talking about?
I mean,
what case?
what IG reported about the $3.some million.
But
And
that's not,
if
it's,
they
not
tell me
saying,
say, look,
it's not saying anybody stole money, though.
No, it don't. It's never gonna say that.
Although people keep saying that, that's not true.
no, nobody
And
said
so-
that.
and
No
so
one
when it
said
comes
that.
from the dais,
Who
it
said?
makes
Who
people-
says that somebody stole
No
some
one
money?
here probably dies, but out in the public, that's what they're
Well,
saying.
because
But
it's public
it's-
information. They
yeah.
can go in there and put it up and read
Anybody
it.
can
They have their own
anybody can
opinion.
request it.
What I'm
But
saying
we're
is
not
they're
worried about
saying-
them right now. I'm not worried about what no one else feel or what anything about what they think. That's on them. They can do that. They have a right to think whatever they want to think. I'm not saying that.
But go after what? What would be what would you
Okay,
think
well,
a cause of action would be? Because that's the issue. What you believe a cause of action would be. What do you think a cause of action would be?
I did think I'm just telling you. I just think if we consult another attorney that have no connection to this, no whatsoever, and they tell us, say, look, you don't have a case, blah, 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 it's over with, I would take that more. Because right now, I can understand Mayor Babb sitting over there defending this, and I tell everybody this every day. I understand him. I do. And I'm not here to bash him or say nothing about it, but I do understand him. I understand where he's standing. And I'm not disagreeing with him at all. And I understand where you stand. And so that's why I just say I feel better if it came from someone else. I hope, I'm wishing that y'all just give the city that one opportunity to pursue a different attorney to just look at this.
Well, you know what? I would say the city commission obviously can spend their money any way they want to, but I would say this, Commissioner Scott. You told me personally, out of your own mouth, that you trusted my opinion.
I did.
You did.
I did. And I
on
gave you
this,
6 months.
And it was on this issue.
Right.
And so what I told you I would do was I told you I would look at it very carefully. I did that. If there was anything, trust me, I would want you to have your day in court, whatever it was. I don't see it. Right.
Okay.
And so,
Okay, I got you.
as a professional, if you're telling me you just don't trust my opinions.
No. Wait, the day when I first said, I said I knew that. I said that you wouldn't do it. I said they told me you wouldn't do it. Then you told me
I don't know
you
who
say
they are.
you say I am
We
a
didn't talk
professional.
about they.
You say I am a professional, and so I said okay, I trust you. 6 months, you did nothing.
Because there was nothing for me to do.
Okay, then. But you sent us a letter. Here's the thing. I tell you what you did. I guess you did. Yes, you did do something.
But I think you misunderstood.
I ain't
Because if you
misunderstood
tell me that you
anything. No, I
thought
did not.
that you
Nope.
told me, or you thought I said go criminal. No, I never told you that. What I said was the state attorney's office.
No, I didn't say you said go criminal.
Well, you said you just said a.
You said civil.
Well, anyway, I'm not going to go back and forth.
Okay, well, we're done with that. We're done with that. Let's move on. Let's move on. Let's move, because this is the thing right here. You told, when you said go civil, then you said.
I didn't even say go civil.
Oh,
I didn't say any of that.
okay, it's recorded, so it
But,
doesn't
yeah,
matter.
you're right.
I mean, I'm not going to even argue, because I
Yeah.
already know this ain't going to work with you. All I'm asking is that we allow a different attorney to look at this. This have nothing to do, this not personal to Attorney Weeks or anything. It's not me and her, because believe it or not, I have nothing personal against her, not nothing. But I just feel like we should just give another attorney to look at it. That's it. Because if she take the case, we have to pay her. It doesn't matter.
And even with that,
Bab, I'm not going to take it from you. I'm just be real with you. So I'm not trying to disrespect you or anything, but I understand where you stand. and I already know what you finna say.
Right.
So
Now,
I would really like to hear from the other commissioners, because I understand where you stand, and I'm not here to disagree with you or
But
agree
I
with
was going to
you.
make a point on
Go
the
ahead.
point you just made. You may be able to find an attorney to be willing to look at it, but you're going to be paying him to do that.
Okay.
And I'm just saying, I think 9 out of 10 would say there's no case for a civil suit here.
Okay.
I'm just saying that, but even if they decide to say 10 out of 10, you got a case, and you and this commission say, let's hire this attorney, but we're gonna pay him up to $60,000. I'm just using that as hypothetical.
I know.
Any attorney out there would probably take that and charge you up to that 60,000, and we're still not gonna have a winnable case that we can collect money.
That's exactly what would happen.
And we're gonna get counter-sued.
That's exactly what I expect you to say.
Okay.
Anybody,
But I definitely agree.
any
we need
other
to hear from
commissioners,
everybody.
if y'all have any, I mean, if you don't have nothing to say, then you don't have nothing to say. It doesn't matter. But I think we owe it to the community to at least check into it. Because that's I mean, when I read it, it's a whole lot of stuff in there that just don't make sense to me.
What I'll say is, I'm in the process of going through the OIG report myself, and I've gotten about halfway through it. And up to that point, there's no one that you can point the finger at with regards to saying that they took money. What I'm getting is that, some processes and some systems need to be approved upon greatly. I'm not all the way through it yet, but up to the point where I've been able to get to, so far I don't see anyone that we can say that has taken some money. It's all mismanagement and some processes that need to be improved upon and tightened. That's just my take on it up to the point that I can speak to.
And I also would say that Chandler Williamson, and I'm gonna call his name, did repay questionable costs. Those trips he took to his alma mater, saying that he was recruiting students to come to Pahokee for employment. I questioned that as soon as I heard that. I said, Chandler, what is your documentation on that? Did the president submit a letter to you saying he's inviting you to do that? I didn't buy that at all. But anyway, he was encouraged to pay that money back. I think it was to the tune of $5,800, and he repaid that. So the questionable cost, that was repaid. I'll put it that way on that particular item.
I never questioned that. I never questioned nothing about Chandler Williams. Whether he paid $150,000 back or $50,000 back, I never questioned it. I said all 4 city managers. I didn't just particularly pick him out. I mean, yeah, there's a whole lot of stuff in there with his name on it. But my thing is, I didn't go through there and just pick and choose whomsoever. I said all of them. And I wasn't questioning whether he paid back some money or not. It's like when the attorney put a letter, had the clerk send us a letter stating about some money being repaid. I'm like, this don't make sense.
I
We
didn't
ask that.
have the clerk send any letter.
What's your-
So
what-
just correcting, I didn't.
Okay,
have the
where
clerk send a letter.
that come from?
Which letter are you referring to?
The first one that you sent that was it was before we had the meeting tonight. When we never talked about it. You sent it to us. Said from the attorney.
Is that, you talking about the one from the state audit?
No.
No, it was
No.
from the state attorney's
It's from the
Well,
state
state attorney, so that
Oh,
was
that's
from the
not-
city attorney.
yeah, that's
That
not-
wasn't about
It's a
money.
different, whole different.
Yeah, that
that's
wasn't-
not the same issue. So-
I know, I know we didn't ask for that. We didn't ask nothing about that, and that's what came in.
Yeah. Anyway, it was in response to a public records request, and I used it as an opportunity to let you all know here is the issue. But I wanted to bring one other thing up for you all, which will make it a little bit easier. I spent like a bunch of time back in December writing when I thought that the issue was gonna come up with approval of an audit, a person to do audit services. So, and I wrote an email, I wrote a memorandum on December 15th, and it's entitled Audit Report Outstanding Matters. And it outlines succinctly all of the issues in both of the audit findings. And so this may help you, Commissioner McDonald, as you go through the rest of it. It's kind of a cheat sheet in a way, because I put actually the areas in red, and I tried to make it very clear what the issues were, that it related to purchase orders and not following procedures. And so I pretty much went through them all, and it took a long time to do it. So I hope you'll take advantage, take a look at it, and hopefully it will be helpful with helping to understand that what some of this stuff is, and it's not just somebody came and took a bunch of money from the city, and a lot of it has to do with not following your policies
I
that
have
are
a
in
question.
place.
I have a question. So, when the city sell vehicles and they get paid, but the money never get deposited to the city, what's it called?
I don't know anything about that, and I don't think that
okay.
was, and I'm not sure if that was a part of this report, but
Okay.
I don't know anything about the city selling vehicles and the money not coming back from the, from
Okay.
the,
All right.
I don't know what report that's
There was
in.
no-
It's
there
not
wasn't-
in this
there-
last one.
Yeah, it wasn't in the,
Okay.
no, because there was no cooperation from the city.
Okay,
When you
but
read
they
the
would
OIG,
have
it
still,
tell you
they
they
would have
wouldn't
still,
cooperate.
they would have still put it in the report.
But
Yeah.
there's a lot of things wasn't in there because they intentionally did not cooperate with the people. They knew what they was doing. It was always an excuse.
Yeah.
We don't have enough staff. We don't have this. We don't have that. That's what I get it when I read it. So I don't know what y'all get.
Yeah, well, this is what I'm saying. The OIG, they don't care whether you cooperate or not. If they found that there was a sale of an auction of vehicles, and somehow those vehicles were not accounted for in your budget or in your finances, they're going to cite that as a finding. They're not going to not do it because nobody was quote unquote cooperating.
Okay.
Okay, this is a workshop, and certainly, I think Commissioner Scott did say wanted to kind of hear from the commission as a whole. So Commissioner Mike Pearson, you have any input you want to chime in on?
I read the OIG report also. There's, I don't know how you can tie the misappropriation and then some of the things that just come up missing, but a lot of the things, as Commissioner McDonald stated, it doesn't implement a particular person on those particular items. It just shows that the money didn't go where it was supposed to go. How do you tie that to some individuals? Of course, there was some things that, all of those things are questionable, but how do you tie that to a particular individual or to anybody in person? And that's the gist of what I've read through the OIG report. Matter of fact, I'm going to go back through it again and see if there's anything that stands out. But now, misappropriation and your interpretation of that is you know what I mean?
Yeah, but
The money the money's not accounted for is the bottom line.
even if you conclude that there's been a misappropriation,
Yeah.
you gotta have some proof. You can't just say that this, that, or the other has happened, and this one is taking money or what have you. You gotta have proof.
I keep coming back to the same little theme too. I would also say this too. One of our biggest and top priorities are roads and streets. Personally, if it was me, if I had to spend some money, whether it was 10,000 or 50,000, it'll go towards paving some of our streets, fixing some of the potholes, fixing some of the sidewalks and things. If I was spending money, I had a choice of spending money, that's the focus I would be focusing in on. Sometimes you have to wash your hand and say, you know, we looked at it, we tried, and it's not a whole lot we can do. But again, if the consensus would say that they want to take up to 5,000 and have an independent person do it, you know, you're spending 5,000 that you can use in a more appropriate way, I feel. Vice Mayor Williams. Just didn't want to leave out if she was still there.
Vice Mayor Calvin Williams.
I hear you, yes.
Just wanted to give you an opportunity to kind of at least make a comment or churn in on the conversation of the possibility of having a firm, an outside firm, at least look at the audit report to tell us whether or not this is something we should pursue civil manners.
I don't have any comments, Mayor Bear.
Okay. Any final comment from the commission as a whole, and then last observations? Okay. Hearing none, we will adjourn this.
How? Wait for public comments. How you gonna
Just a
adjourn?
workshop. We didn't have public comment for the workshop.
Since when?
I didn't see agenda, so I'm not
Typically,
City
you don't
attorney.
have public comments for a workshop because you're not making any, taking any
decision
votes
votes.
or action items.
The last
But it's
workshop
on the
y'all
agenda.
had, y'all had public comments.
Yeah, I didn't see I didn't see agenda, so I was assuming it wasn't. But I'll check with the clerk.
It's listed on there.
It's listed. She has it listed. Okay. Public comments.
We only have one, and it's Mr. Tamarcus Porter.
You only have one.
Did you bring me yours, sir?
I left it up there.
You have to do a different card.
Why I had to do a different card?
It's a different meeting. I told you that before you walked out.
I think that's the truth.
I informed you of that when you walked out after the last meeting.
So I understand that we can't criminally prosecute anybody, but is there any explanation, or does anybody, is the city attorney versed enough to explain to us why the OIG says there's $3.1 million missing and another $2.1 million missing from the marina? Is there like,
This is your opportunity to speak, but that's
I know,
not
but
what
you
the-
be responding
that's
to me
not
when you
what
want.
the OIG report says.
okay, that's what I was
So,
asking.
okay.
That's what I was asking you. You don't speak, okay, you don't respond to that? Okay. All right, so that's the thing. Y'all keep saying, we can't do this, we can't do that. But if $100,000 comes missing, okay, I'm gonna scratch my head a little bit. $500,000 come missing, I'm gonna start looking into it. $5 million come missing, that's stealing. That ain't mismanagement, that ain't no mistake. Like, how you mismanage $5 million and then say, ain't nothing we can do about it? Like, come on, I keep telling y'all, this stuff is right in y'all faces, common sense. And this lady and this guy over here is trying to do all this hoopla and rigmarole to make it look like this and that, but that's not the case. It's real simple. Because she talks when she wants to. When it benefits her, she talks for 5 minutes, right? But now I asked her a question and she don't want to talk. Why
Just
is that?
answer
Hold on,
your
I'm talking.
question
You're
and
not
you're
supposed to
wrong.
talk.
What
You're not supposed to talk. You're not supposed to talk.
What do you want from me?
You're not supposed to talk. I thought you were not talking.
Okay,
All right, so
you're wrong.
so when it's her chance to talk, she wants to jump in and interrupt the city manager and do this and come and project her personal feelings on everything without giving any legal advice. I haven't heard her say, this is against the law, this is the law we need to follow to make sure, or hey, we can do this, we can provide this service to the community, but we gotta make sure we just provide disclaimers in it so we protect ourselves in the city, but we're gonna help ourselves. No, it's always, hey, let's not do that, so this. So, but her and Sanquetta, you know what, I'm gonna just say this right here. $5 million missing is not mismanagement. That's thievery. Like it's easy. It's not that hard to understand that. If I said $10 is missing, okay, somebody went and bought lunch when they weren't supposed to. That's different than saying a roof that's been leaking since 2016 is still leaking.
I would make a comment on that
No,
quickly.
not yet. I'm not done.
Okay.
Okay. So a roof been leaking since 2016 and still leaking, but y'all said y'all spent the money to fix it. That's not right. So I'm gonna tell you another story. If you paid me to do a job, paid me $100 to do a job, I said, okay, I'm gonna do that job. But you know what? I'm gonna do half that job. I'm gonna give you $50 back. You get to keep your $50. I'm gonna take my little $30, and everybody's happy. Don't that sound like something that could happen with $5 million mismanaged? I'm gonna pay you more than what you really supposed to get. And then you're only gonna do half the job, and then we're gonna split the rest of the money. It's real easy to figure out. This stuff not hard. You're gonna look at the OIG, they're gonna say they paid for this and this happened. But it didn't happen. We still got messed up roads. We still got a marina that nobody can use. You got tenants that's been kicked out of the marina for not paying stuff, but y'all not doing y'all due diligence, or do y'all do that? Y'all responsibility of fixing it for them. Y'all like some slumlords. Then y'all block people from bringing businesses in here. Then you got, I'm out. I ain't going play with that.
I want anybody in here to remember when Rick Ross and them came here, and they said there was $2 or $3 million missing. Keith, you said you didn't see no evidence. I had a lady who sits up in here, called herself an attorney. She looked at y'all and kept on telling y'all in trouble. Why was y'all in trouble if nothing was wrong? She said, oh, y'all in trouble. I might not be here 2 or 3 more months. She been here 2 years. Because she know when she leave, everybody going to get to the bottom of this. Laugh till you get tired. Laugh till you get tired. And that lie she sat up here and told to my, the OIG gonna send something to the state attorney. Y'all done forgot I sat up and talked to the state attorney and everybody, and the state attorney told me they can't do nothing because the OIG put something on a piece of paper. It's y'all job to go to the state attorney's office. It ain't the OIG job. The OIG job is to make y'all aware of what the hell is going on, and then y'all get y'all attorney to go see about it. When Scott asked her about going seeing about something, he asked about the $2 or $3 million. She went and pulled up something about the credit card, something that I had been found out. I went and sat down with the state attorney. I went and sat down with the Department of Corruption. I went and sat down with the sheriff department. So don't y'all come telling me all this hoopla. Like I don't care cause somebody can be he can be Perry Mason in here. Perry Mason can tell a lie, not just cause he's the attorney. He can tell a lie to make it look good. When she said, "Oh, y'all in trouble," but now all of a sudden ain't nobody in trouble. Now all of a sudden these $2 or $3 million that's missing, ain't nobody got nothing to say about it. Oh, the OIG. I'm gonna send y'all a letter and talk about some credit cards. We didn't ask about no credit cards. We asked about $2.7 million that came out in April the 15, 2025. We didn't ask for nothing from 17 to 21. She sent y'all a letter. Oh, I went over this and that's what it was credit cards. And you sat right there, Keith, and let her keep on telling this junk about some credit cards. We gonna get to the bottom of the truth about Lucas and all of that shit, all that junk what y'all were doing with Lucas that nobody wants to talk about. Y'all don't want to talk about it. Can I speak, ma'am? Can I speak without you interrupting me?
I wasn't interrupting you.
You was talking to the mayor while I'm speaking.
You were cursing in the microphone. That's against our rules.
Yeah, now. You gave some legal advice. Because you sure don't give no, and you don't do nothing but sit up here and read a resolution. That's all you do. Yeah. When we say go check somebody, check what Chandler done did with $3.4 million. Check what Lucas and them did up on the lake for $1 million. You don't check nothing. Check what them boys did when they left Old in the city over $100,000. You don't check with nothing. You sit up there and then tell some people all these stories about, oh, I can't do this. What you up there for? Do I need to pull it out and read what the duties of the city attorney is? Because I got all of that. I don't come up here half-stepping. You show it 3 minutes because I see you just tapping that bell.
You want to check? It's right here.
No, I ain't got to check.
Okay.
Y'all playing this old junk like this. Cool us up.
Do we have any additional comments? Card completed, city attorney, city clerk.
That is all, Mayor.
Thank you. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn this workshop.
No motion is necessary for the workshop.
I'll open The meeting for the second workshop dealing with criteria for hiring a city manager. For the role we'll
During the
have,
workshop.
No motion was necessary for the workshop.
we'll have roll call to identify who's present at this particular workshop. Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Mayor Bab,
Present.
Vice Mayor Calvin Williams,
Present.
Commissioner McDonald,
Present.
Commissioner McPherson,
Present.
Commissioner Scott,
Present.
Interim City Manager,
Present.
City Attorney,
Here.
City Clerk is present.
I'll start off by saying that we have criteria for hiring the city manager. We've had it for years. Same criteria, haven't changed any. The qualification, the experience, everything is there in writing. However, if we want to delete, add, we can. We can talk about anything that we need to talk about in this particular workshop. I'm not sure who was the commissioner who proposed having it. I wanted to give them the first lead in talking about areas they wanted to look at or discuss.
That was Commissioner Cowens, I believe. That was Commissioner
Okay.
Cowens made that.
Commissioner Cowens, since,
Yes. that was-
okay,
that
we'll
was-
have you
that
kind
was-
of open it up and kind of look at some
manager.
things you want to discuss.
I would like for us to use the same process, which was that we used before, the questions that the city attorney works along with the HR, and to make sure all the questions are for legality, to create the questions, and that we use the pointing system that we used the same as when we hired the last city manager.
We need
For
a
each
workshop for
category.
that.
Well, to get it to this point, we asked for a vote, and at least 3 people voted to have it. So, could have been unanimous, I can't remember.
No, it
But I
wasn't.
know it was at least 3.
No, it wasn't.
That's how we got here, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. So I start with Commissioner Scott, just for comments to see if he have anything he had put. I did, I thought that was her, she made her comment on that. Commissioner Scott.
Oh, I have no. Oh, yes, I do. Because I looked at the last time that we had a city manager, we had us, the last city manager, and you guys extended it to like 180 days, 6 months, and then you stated that you will evaluate the city manager, and y'all did it in 90 days and decide whether y'all gonna hire him or not. We haven't evaluated Ms. Bussey, not
Yeah.
yet.
Part of that was because there were some commissioners wanted to hire him on the spot. And I say, at least for open transparency, let's do an evaluation. At least you would have some written documentation why you're choosing this individual. Prior to that, we didn't even have that. So I believe that was the reason for the
But that's the same.
the evaluation
That's the
part.
same case we had with Ms. Bussey, because we had commissioners that wanted to hire her on the spot, but nobody suggested that we do evaluation.
I want the whole process.
And prior to Ms. Bussey being here, we didn't have the ordinance that we have now saying that all charter members will be interviewed. So we had a new process put in place, and that was before we even had Ms. Bussey here. That was there.
Can you read that resolution for me, please?
City Clerk, you think you can be able to find that
Yes, I can.
resolution
Yes, sir. 1
on
second.
the hiring of the city manager?
Yes,
Well,
1 moment, please.
Mr. Mayor, I have it in front of me. It is Resolution 2024-32, and it is regarding the requiring public interviews and presentation of credentials for positions of city manager, city attorney, and city clerk. And it's not a long resolution, but basically it states that the positions of the city manager, city attorney, and city clerk are selected and terminated upon a vote of the City of Pahokee City Commission. And in addition to the requirements already established by the City of Pahokee's Charter and Code of Ordinances, because there are requirements in the Charter and Code of Ordinances, the City Commission desires to impose additional requirements when considering future replacement of the city manager, city attorney, and city clerk. And more specifically, the City Commission desires that prior to future selection for the offices of city manager, city attorney, and city clerk, that public interviews take place, and that the City Commission conducts review of credentials from candidates seeking said positions. The City Commission finds that requiring public interviews and presentation of credentials for the future positions are in the best interest of the city. And there is a section at the bottom, talks about requirement for interviews and presentations of credentials, and it states that the City Commission of the City of Pahokee hereby establishes a requirement that prior to the selection of a future city manager, city attorney, or city clerk, there should be public interviews and presentation of credentials. And so those are the requirements.
Can I ask you, what date was that?
Sure, this was passed on it was passed on the 27th of August, 2024.
I would break this up. It'd probably give us some discussions and conversation. Our charter also states that the city manager of Pahokee is an exclusive position. There should be no additional outside employment. And I'm just bringing this up for conversation, and I knew that the previous commission allowed Michael Jackson to do some consulting because he was already doing it. We went against, by that vote, went against that charter. So if you hire a city manager, technically, that person, we pay on average $120,000, $10,000 a month. That should be an exclusive position that person should be having. That means you need to maybe resign any other jobs you have and exclusively work full-time as a Pahokee city manager.
Did y'all ever do that to Michael Jackson? Did y'all ever do it?
Yeah, I believe that he, through the mayor, I believe that he voluntarily said that he wasn't going to do that. So he basically said he was withdrawing that as a part of his, in fact.
I think it's in the minutes.
Yeah, he was withdrawing that as a part of his request.
Contract. Can I ask a question?
Because whatever clients he saw, he had to bring them to the commission first. Anybody that he decided to do consulting work with, he had to bring it before the commission. That was part of the contract that he didn't like, and I think he wanted that withdrawn because it had to be approved by the commission to make sure there was not a conflict of interest.
Okay.
With the consulting work that he was doing.
I have a question, and I totally agree with not, having all those different jobs and being a city manager. I agree, but if a city manager wanted to volunteer to work with an organization, is that a problem?
That's not a paid job.
I'm just saying, as long as it's not a paid job,
right?
I don't see nothing. That's what I'm saying. But I understand. I agree with a paid job because city manager 24/7.
Plus, it's in the charter.
Yeah, it's in the charter, and I agree with it. But if a person, that shouldn't stop a person from volunteering to do work with an organization, as long as they are not receiving a paycheck, and I don't have a problem with it. But if they, other than that, I'm gonna have to agree with you that you only can have one job. When you're the city manager, you got to be the city manager.
What y'all trying to say? Ms. Buster got 2 or 3 jobs? That what y'all trying to say?
Ms. Buster, candidate, we're not bringing her into this, making that particular statement. Yeah. I'm just telling you what the charter, I'm talking to the commission right now, what the charter says, exclusive job for a city
I know
manager.
you had a reason for saying that, though.
Okay, Ms. McDonough, I'm just going in order. I'm trying to see if you have any input on the qualifications or whatever criterias for a city manager that we want to discuss or may want to
So
adjust.
Mayor Bab, with the point system, will the HR create that and do it just as just as it was done last time as well?
Yes, unless
Like
this
each
commission for
subsection-
some reason
Each
change.
subsection, there were questions that falls up under each one where they get points.
Yes, so far we're planning on doing it how we have done it in the past, so that would be the same, unless as a majority, we're not voting now, but as a majority, the commission wants some type of change to it. But as it stands, that's how it would be.
So the criteria that is already in place, you're saying that that's what we're gonna use for the selection of the permanent city manager? If that's the case, I'm gonna ask again, why is it that we having this meeting? Because everything that's been interjected to this point is already in place. And, you know, I was working real hard last week to avoid having meetings on this Tuesday, but I'm here because I signed up for it.
Okay.
So,
Sure.
are we addressing anything with regards to the candidates, or are we just speaking in general with regards to the position of city manager?
We're speaking in general to what's regard to the city manager. And going back to your earlier point, we always take a vote, even if you wanted to add on an agenda item, majority have to agree. You have to get a motion and a second. So to have this workshop, my memories is not the best right now, but we had to have that process done. So you kept asking. I'm
I
just
get
saying,
that,
yeah.
but we haven't addressed anything outside of what's already in place. I get that. I don't mind the workshop, but
So what you all would, through the mayor, what you all would need to do as a part of this going forward is to have public interviews and presentation of credentials. That's what this resolution 2024-32 requires. And so I guess the workshop would be dealing with this resolution chaired by the clerk, that of how you would do that, what would be done next, when would these things be conducted, when, how, to what extent, whether you use the same process you used before or not. These are all things that relate to the resolution that you would consider in the workshop.
So may I speak, Mayor Bab?
Yes.
So since the job has closed, so I guess we can look at and see if I know we can't vote, okay, when can we get we can start reviewing applications and setting up interviews, start setting up a timeline for interviews and reviewing applications and then setting up interviews, or however we want the timeline to be, since the position has closed. So since we have all of the resumes, and I say we should be able to within the next week or two start interviewing.
Well, we only have 3 candidates, so
It's
we're
for-
talking about maybe one day of interviewing. It ain't gonna be a whole
Okay.
week or so to get that done.
So I
But
guess maybe give the HR person, the HR director, and the attorney opportunity to, with the question and the scoring sheet before we can start doing that, because I guess that needs to be done first.
I have a
And I
question.
guess once that's complete, they can email us to let us know that it's complete, and then we can start the interviewing process, or do we want to say we want to give them a time frame to get the point system sheet done and the, questions? We put them a week to get that done. Today is the, 17th.
I think probably
So, yeah,
that
I'm
should
gonna
work.
say
What,
February.
what we can do as a commission is decide on the date and time frame we want to interview. And we don't have to call names, we can say candidate one, we would interview on whatever said date and whatever said time, and maybe have a hour gap between each interview.
So will that be the same night that we have a commission meeting?
I would recommend it.
Yeah,
instead of having-
yeah, cause we have to vote on it anyway. This just giving us the groundwork and the legwork where we're gonna be working from as far as a vote. And that would go on to, yeah, it'd definitely be during a commission meeting.
Okay. So do we want to look at the commission meeting in March? The first commission meeting or the second commission meeting in March?
Are we saying
That's,
we're not there
we're
yet?
in February now, so we wanna give ourselves at least
So April?
I'm just maybe
asking, I don't
30
know,
to
just
60
asking.
days to come up with a date, maybe. You got to get the person notified, you got to set up the interview, you got to make sure the questions and all in place, the scoring mechanism.
So the second meeting in April, will that be enough time?
We're not there yet, I don't think.
Why we taking 2 more months? She done been there 5 months. 5 months.
The second week in April?
5 months y'all had up there. Y'all had-
At this workshop, I'm not sure if we're ready to try to narrow down a date, but if we can as a consensus, propose one at the next commission meeting, but I'm not sure how we would, at this point tonight, decide when we want to have our interviewing for the city manager position.
What would we interview for? You ain't even evaluating Ms. Bussy yet. Well, that's what you should be talking about.
We gonna get to that, man.
So,
Can I speak?
Sure.
so regarding, the list of candidates that we do have currently, have we resolved all questions with regards to the timely submissions and any other issues that were identified with regards to the applications that we have, such as additional information being submitted post-submission? And have we verified that everything is in order with regards to all of the applications that we have? Because there's been some questions with regards to timely submissions and also additional documents being submitted post submission of each application. Not that all of them have, but in at least one instance. So have we resolved any, all of those issues?
Commissioner McDonald, we have our HR director here if you all want to hear from her.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we do.
That'll be good, yeah.
Good evening.
Good
Good
evening.
evening.
There were no applicants that were submitted after the deadline, but there was one applicant that was emailed to all the commissioners. I brought a copy of the email. the one in particular that was emailed late will provide you with her email when she emailed it on October 20th at 3:43.
You said late, right?
No, sir.
You just said
It was emailed to the commissioners late,
late.
but she
Ms.
submitted
Love.
it on time.
She should be addressing the commission
Yeah, let him hit.
with questions or concerns.
The reason why it was submitted to the commissioners late due to IT technicality. I was having problems with my email when I submitted a request to the IT manager. He noticed that there was a problem. He went and checked and created a new email for me. When the request for all applicants was emailed me for, I'm sorry, I'm trying to fight back hiccups. For a records request, I submitted the 3 applicants when I did the search. When I did the search, all of my emails from my previous emails did not transfer over, which is why I did a screenshot of my previous email and my newly created emails, showing when I did the search, it did not pull up that particular applicant. When she called the next day and reminded me that she did submit an application, I immediately emailed the city clerk, the city attorney, and I copied the city manager. Which you'll see in this email.
So how long was your email down?
It was down for a few days. So
Okay, okay, I'm sorry to cut you off, but we asked you several times, how many applicants do we have? And several times you stated 3.
I was only asked one by the email I received. I only received one email, and that was from the city clerk's office. If there was additional emails sent to me from the city, from any of the city commission, they were not directly to the HR.
Okay, so the day that you stood right there and they asked you how many applicants we have,
I said 3.
and you ran off their name.
Yes.
Okay. But this particular applicant name wasn't one of those.
No, sir.
So I know we can roll back the tape and see several times that maybe you, probably the clerk, can state
one the
that
clerk?
we only had 3 applicants.
Wasn't the clerk,
It wasn't.
because the applicants don't come to me.
No, I'm just saying, when one of the commission asks, how many applicants do we have? It been 3 for the last 3 months. It been 3.
Yeah, at the last meeting, then I
Yeah,
said
no,
3
not
because at
only
that
the
time,
last meeting,
yeah.
At every meeting.
Well, I would have received it prior to the last meeting, so the applicants don't communicate with the clerk's office.
Oh, no, I'm just saying,
Yeah.
but when the commission asks, how many applicants do we have? Everybody say 3. Every time it's 3. And the only time when I'm sorry, what's your name?
Prince.
Miss Prince came, she stated the names of the applicants.
That's correct.
And she only said 3.
That's correct.
So that wasn't my first time hearing that we had 3 applicants. So that's what I'm saying. If she said, I'm trying to figure out how we come up with 3 if your email address was down for a couple days. How did it get to the commission that it was just 3?
In the email that I explained to the manager, my email I created another email.
I understand that.
From that email that was created, when I did the search, there was no search. It only searched 3 applicants.
Okay.
So I
what-
had to go to my old emails, which was now up, and I requested a search for all the applicants, and that's when I got, if you will see on here, all the 4 applicants. And as soon as I found out,
I seen that too. Yeah.
I sent an email.
I got a question. it was 3 applicants, and when you pulled up, you only pulled up 3. And
Yes,
then
sir.
She called you, then you did another search, and you came up with another name. So when did the other applicants put in their application?
I do not have that information right now when the other ones, put in their application. I
So
can
did
get
they-
that
were-
information for
Were
you.
they late, or did they put them in early?
They put them, all of them put them in early.
Okay, well, why hers wasn't transferred over with theirs if they was putting it normally the same time?
The question is, not the question, the
Yeah, there's a
problem
question.
is, when the young lady on here
Mm-hmm.
submitted her application, it was not then, well, I did not have the problems with the computer at that time, my email. I did not have the problem then.
Mhm.
It was
understand
after
that.
the fact.
Yeah, I know I heard what you said. You said it was down for 2 days. And,
But the records request was prior to,
but what I'm saying is, if they all put an application in October or November, whenever, they put
not all of them did.
Okay, so when did she, when you
This
say they all-
particular person
Okay,
did.
so she put hers in last or first?
Yes, she put hers in last.
And this really ain't making sense. Because if she put hers in last, and they put theirs in first, so that means their application is older than hers.
That's correct.
So that means hers should have came over because she was more recent than theirs.
The new email and the old email, which is the glitch.
Well, I understand, both of them were under the old email, right? All of them was under the old email. They had to
No.
be, because you just, okay.
The old email
Mhm.
had all the previous applicants. When I learned of my error, well, not the error, the computer error, is when I transferred over all of my emails. Well, not all of my emails, only some of my emails from the date that I had the issue with the computer emails. So when I had that issue and I sent the emails to the IT and he learned that there was a problem where all of my documents were not being saved, that's when I made that, asked him that, will he please check my emails? And that's when he created me another email. And when I did the search, you'll see one search for one set of emails pulled the 3 applicants. The other search for emails did not pull any applicants. So when the young lady I did not remember her name.
That's okay.
That is my fault, and I took full responsibility for that because I could not remember every single applicant that submitted the application. So when I did search for city manager applicants, only 3 applicants were pulled up from the old email. The new email, yes, the old email. She was the last one, so it didn't carry over to the new email until she called. When she called, I put in her name and I was able to pull her application, and I immediately submitted to the city clerk, the city attorney, and Miss Bussey.
Ms. Prince, that sounds nice, but it's got a big hole in it. And my problem is, if she submitted her application last, and you put in, and you asked your computer for city manager applicants, but the older ones came up, but the new one didn't.
Because it was the last one that was submitted.
That's why it should have came up first.
It did not. It would not come up first. The old emails went down and a new email is being created.
Mayor.
So what you saying, you
I
had a
know
new
this
email in
involved me,
between
but
the
may I
2
speak,
applicants?
please? Just
I'm
in
sorry,
reference to her.
What are you saying about why? When was the new email assigned to you?
Yeah, no.
It was assigned after the records request. The reason for the applicants were being requested, there wasn't request from the commission. It was being requested for records request through the city clerk.
Well, I'm gonna say this right here, and this all I'm gonna be dumb. I mean, I really do feel for the applicant because it's not fair to that person if they put in an application and you and I'm gonna go back and look at those tapes and I'm gonna show you how many times that someone asked about how many applicants and it done came with 3. And it's not the applicant's fault
No.
that it was.
So
it's
what,
somebody else's fault.
right.
You know,
It's a computer fault too.
no, there's no computer.
Okay, it's somebody else's fault.
It's somebody else's fault. We ain't
So
putting that-
bottom line, what you're
the computer
saying,
can take a lot of blame for a whole lot of stuff, but they can take this one. But I'm just saying that it don't even look right for the city. Because if we said we was done taking applicants, we should have been done.
no, what don't look right was if you try to exclude this applicant who's
Right.
from Pahokee, so.
Not about, I didn't about, listen, it was about from Pahokee now. Now it's about from Pahokee.
No, I'm just saying,
I'm just saying, because listen, here's the point. Here's my point.
maybe I shouldn't have
I
put
don't-
Pahokee, but I'm
Yeah,
just using that as-
here's my point. I don't, it doesn't, right now, I mean, it's not a big
It's
deal to me.
irrelevant.
It just don't look professional.
Okay,
That's what I'm saying. But
Okay.
then it don't look fair
fair to who?
for the other applicants.
We got
For several,
We got
for several
three
months,
applicants.
for several months that we asked that question, how many applicants? It been 3. Then all this, at the last meeting, everything closed now. Oh, we got another one. That don't even sound right,
Okay.
man. It don't care who it is. It don't sound. I don't care if they were from my house. It don't sound right.
Okay,
I'm done. Go ahead.
okay.
So, but that's that one application. What about the one that was allowed to submit documents in addition to what they submitted initially? How's that fair?
I don't know if there was anybody, everybody that had attachments, their attachments should have been attached to their application when they were initially submitted to the city clerks.
So no additional documents were accepted after the initial
Vice Mayor
submission?
Cowan requested to know if there were any resumes or offer letters, not offer letters,
Cover letters.
letters for the applicants. She requested that, which was already submitted prior to.
I think the same 3 people that interviewed with her the last time.
No,
No, sir.
no.
Okay.
Only one of them interviewed before.
All right, thank you, Ms. Prince.
So, Mr. Mayor, I kind of hesitate to bring it up, but I will because it was a part of what you all said. When you interviewed when you interviewed the last time, you all said that the people who interviewed before, they were not going to be excluded from the process and that they could be considered, is what the commission agreed to. So I throw it out there, and just so you know what you said, and if anybody ever went back and saw it, it wouldn't be an issue. You can decide to deal with it differently or whatever, but that's what you said as a part of the process.
And not only that, while you brought that up, I don't even think, and I may be mistaken, whether or not HR called each of the previous applicants or who had application on and asked them to assure them that they didn't have to do a separate new application, but they could be considered for the position if they wanted to be considered. I'm not sure if that was.
But they
even
didn't have to do
happening.
an application, what you're saying?
Huh?
They don't have to redo
They
an
wouldn't have to.
No,
have-
I understand. I'm just saying, I'm just
Right.
making sure that's what
But
you're
I
saying.
don't even think we did that, and we probably excluded a few people out of that bunch.
Yeah.
But that would have took a little on our part to make that call and say, hey, we have a previous application, we're gonna be interviewing for a permanent case supervisor.
So are you
Anybody-
saying
anybody-
there's no distinction between interim city manager and the permanent city manager? Because that was 2 different things.
Through the mayor, what you said was that everybody who interviewed for the interim city manager position would be basically automatically included as a part of the permanent city manager process if they want it to be. So,
My question
It was
is,
opposite.
did anyone
Yeah.
inform Ms. Bussell that before she filled out the application, that she didn't have to fill out the application?
Yeah, what I'm saying, I don't think none of them was informed. It
Right,
wasn't
that's
like
what I'm
one or
saying.
two
Yeah.
was informed.
I'm saying we
Nobody
didn't
was
inform. We didn't inform the candidates of that.
Right, correct. I think
Oh,
that's something
yeah,
we should
that's
have
right.
done,
Yeah.
but
So
we
it's the
didn't
yes,
do that.
yeah, so the clerk just corrected through the mayor. The people who applied for the permanent
Permanent.
would be considered for
Would be
the
considered for interim at that time.
that
So
time,
that's,
right.
that's what was stated.
So-
So, yeah.
So basically, those folks would still be considered as a part of the process, is what you all said.
I got a problem. I just asked, 'cause I don't know. I don't know. I didn't have a problem with it. I was
Because the
just asking.
permanent ad was out prior to the interim, so
Right.
that's what it was.
So you all said they would still be considered. So in other words, the people who applied before, if they're still available, they're still supposed to be a part of your process. It's not just the 4 people. It's supposed to be everybody in that pool of applicants who was available, who applied at that time. They're supposed to be pursuant to what you all said, interviewed or called back or, go
But
pursuant
I
to their
don't,
resolution.
I don't think it's no more. The, yeah.
They can come back now and let them beat them again.
I think everybody else that applied just applied for interim.
That what y'all trying to say?
So,
Everybody should be.
We're trying to say commission and staff.
City manager or permanent city manager?
Okay.
You're gonna pick a permanent one from somebody you just, that don't make sense.
Yes, not.
That's, we have to, if we are trying to do things as we indicated, we
But I
should,
think-
but
I think
I
this
don't know.
interim-
We open up a
For
worm.
the
Huh?
interim, but I don't know, y'all confusing me now, but.
Everybody should be confused.
Small town, I mean, come on. What down here got that plan?
All right, if there's no other,
Mayor, am I
Pretty
allowed
much.
to speak or I can't
Huh?
speak this time? I'm not allowed to speak.
because you're in this
Environment.
process, we don't want to hint anything or give anybody any wrong impression.
I respect
So you
that.
should- Yeah.
That's why I
Okay,
asked. I
thank you.
respect that.
Bank President, did you speak? Did you speak?
Well, I thought this process, we were just gonna go with, I was assuming that we were gonna have some questions that we were gonna go to if we wanted to change anything like that, but apparently we don't have all that information before us. That's what I thought this workshop was gonna include. Other than that, if we're not changing anything.
So unless someone got some additional input, I would have a meeting to adjourn, a motion to adjourn.
I have a
no,
question.
you have the public comment.
Okay.
I have a question. I also wanted to know, have you all decided how many questions for the interviews and how, the time frame for each candidate that you're gonna be interviewing? And the last questions prior to me coming on to the city, 2 questions each came from the commissioners. And I wanted to know if you wanted to use that same method.
Of course, it'd be a consensus, but I would like to see the process similar to what it was, nothing basic changed. I mean,
Okay.
the
Because it was
HR
different for the interim interview. Myself and the city attorney
Yeah, that's the
went over
process.
questions, so.
And it was really just, like a wordsmith thing. It wasn't really doing any wholesale
Right.
change of it.
As far as I'm concerned, I think we should go with the same process.
Okay.
I don't see any major changes we need to do unless some commissioners see a little different, and we need to consider that if that's the case.
I'm sure look at the Michael Jackson interview that he just did this past. I think all of y'all need to take a look at that. Just did that in 2024.
I'm gonna get that.
Everybody up there need to take a look
I'm
at
gonna
that.
get that. I'm gonna get that.
Because you ain't even evaluating this person. Is she doing the job? I've never seen anything when nobody don't
Yeah.
evaluate nobody.
I tried to kind of explain that earlier. The reason for even Michael Jackson was because it was a rush to kind of appoint him. In this particular instance, we have an ordinance indicating that the permanent will be interviewed. So it's no reason for a evaluation The reason Michael Jackson valuation, to try to give some justification, why y'all appointing this individual? I didn't care if he stayed there a year. It gave us an opportunity to see if this individual can do the job or not. They was in a rush to do it, and that's why that came up.
Mayor,
The
you are aware
evaluation.
That the resolution that the attorney read, it was put in place for Michael Jackson. And y'all foregone his interview. Y'all said
That's
we
not
interview.
true.
Your serving as a city manager is qualification, is prove your qualification.
Mayor, can you?
That's what happened.
Okay.
She trying to tell you she ready to get out of here, but I got citizen comments. I have citizen comments.
Ms. Clark,
Yes, sir.
you have citizen comments?
I have 3 comment
Okay.
cards.
You can start.
Okay. First person is Mr. Robert Love.
I've been waiting to get up here. Did y'all see Bab? Bab, it was you, it was Bolden, it was Mervyn, it was Mike Pearson, and it was St. Quarter. Michael Jackson was hired on May the 10th. June the 25th, y'all was in it up in here, and y'all was all going through that to my interviewing and all of this here. Mr. Mike Pearson hollered, I'm ready to hire him now. And that what, from June the 10th to, I know you're educated, from June the 10th to June, from May the 10th to June the 25th, how many days is that? 35, if you didn't know, it's 35. Miss Bussy been here going on 5 months. Y'all ain't sat down now time to say, let me interview Miss Bussy, let's evaluate Miss Bussy. Y'all didn't even come out evaluating Mr. Michael Jackson no more. After 90 days, y'all hired him without any, talking about, all the people what he was interviewed with, y'all didn't go back and get now one of them and say, let's see if we gonna hire them. And then I'm trying to figure out how y'all gonna come when she been an intern city manager for 5 months. Now y'all gonna come and get somebody out the audience and say, oh, this is who we gonna hire permanent. The next person should be an intern if they don't have permanent. How you gonna get somebody permanent and you got somebody been working 5 months that can't nobody complain about but San Quarter and some of y'all what's up there want to hide behind your complaints. But I'm still gonna try to figure out, how you get somebody that's been an intern for 5 months and then you go get somebody and put over there. Do you know you might be setting yourself up for suing? Like y'all was talking about getting sued. If I've been working for y'all 5 months and then y'all come back and they never did it. Y'all just sat up here and tell me, oh, we gonna do it now. But when you made this resolution, did y'all think about, well, we gonna get rid of intern and hire permanent who we don't know from Adam Housecat? We got somebody been working 5 months that done showed us what they can do. Now you're gonna go get somebody that try to show you what they can do. How is that gonna happen? When do that happen? When do that come in at? I'm still trying to figure out, y'all talking about this resolution that you done came up with in 2026. I've been coming up in this damn place since 1998. And they ain't never heard about they had to go hire a city manager as an intern and then go back and get somebody else and hire them permanent, because they ain't never seen an intern that y'all hired, that y'all got rid of. They got rid of themselves. Do you remember when we got rid of Ken Skank, the first ones, Keith, you was up here then. How many city managers we fired before we got to Miss Lynn Lattimore? About 4? Because every time they sat up in that city hall over there and acted ignorant, you know what they did, the commission did? Fired them. See, but y'all got something against Miss Bussy. Now you want to head up there and say about Miss Angam, Miss what's called from Pahokee.
Thank you, Mr. Love.
Finally figured out that people from Pahokee want to work up here? You got somebody who want to work and then y'all don't want them to work.
To Marcus Porter.
I'm telling all y'all up there. St. Quarter, I hope you damn heavy too.
Yes, I'd just like to mention that the 2024 motion that she mentioned happened in 2024 at the meeting with Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson, the resolution was actually to give him his 180 days and after that hire him. But they also passed another motion at that meeting saying that because his serving as the city manager is qualification enough. He doesn't have to interview again against the same people that y'all trying to do again. You don't have to, that's redundant as can be. You're gonna go and interview against the same people. Now y'all saying that there's no new applicant, there is new applicants, I don't know, I'm confused. But if there's no new applicants, then it should be the same thing that y'all did just 18 months ago, June 25th, 2024. Why are we gonna do something 18 months ago and then come now and say, hold up, let's change the whole thing? No, you say, all right, this is what we agreed to. I mean, we're gonna try it out. Michael Jackson did this, okay, let's try it out with another one. If it don't work this time, then maybe we can change something up. But you don't come now the very second time or the second opportunity you have to practice a rule that y'all established and say, no, we ain't doing that no more after one dude or, actually, it wasn't really his fault. It's still San Quetta. If you go read them, watch the meetings, it's San Quetta just acting and badgering people and just micromanaging and just doing stuff that just is unbecoming of somebody that's trying to grow a city. So the thing is, that resolution that they're trying to stand on right now, that's the one that they actually said, we're not going to pay attention to and hire Michael Jackson. So it was in place when Michael Jackson was hired. So I don't know why he brought that up saying it was in place or it came into place once or right before Ms. Bussin. No, that's not true. It's been in place for 2 years, or almost 2 years, I should say. And that's all.
Can I state something?
Just finished, I don't know how many sealed.
She ready to go,
The last comment is from Miss Cynthia Mitchell.
Can I ask a question? I know I'm not on the thing. but
This citizen comments time.
Good evening. Good evening. I don't have a moment, I just came from work. You know what? Do you all know what? 1, 2, let's think what?
She on the phone.
Oh, she must have quit, cause she
She on
ran
the
out.
phone. She on the
Oh,
phone.
well, she ran out the meeting, so she no longer worked there, right? Man, bad, she got fired, cause she left the job. That was a job, people voted her in, she ran out. She got fired. You all, attorney, you need to fire you San Quetta if you can. Okay? 'Cause I know y'all this buddy mess. Pahokee too small. We have someone up there, Miss Bussy, going to bring the city together. Come together. 'Cause every time you don't come together with Miss Bussy, God drop you. You all throw these rocks at Miss Bussy. Miss Bussy don't need anything. She come back home to help home. And you all too evil and gripper-hearted to see Pahokee move. Pahokee needs to move. This is ridiculous. All you boys and girls sitting over there trying to throw at Miss Bussy.
It's crazy.
It's crazy. This is crazy. Every week you gonna have a town hall meeting. Emergency meeting. What's so emergency about y'all still doing the same thing? We ain't going nowhere. And that attorney gonna take every last one of y'all with her. Every last one. I'm telling you, Mel Bell, you sick. You're not going to get well messing with that attorney. She read the book. Just while ago, Mr. Love started talking. And Mr. Mel Bell, you need to concentrate on your health. Get better. Up in this is not going to make you feel better dealing with that attorney over there. Get her gone. Said Quetta, she don't work. She not vice mayor anymore. She left, so she quit. So you can't answer no question. She playing that turn now. They take a turn. This is ridiculous. You all not ashamed sitting up there and look at your hometown. Keep you the mayor of Pahokee, and you walking out of your house with a suit on and rolls look like hell. You could put on a jogging suit to sit up there the way Pahokee look. You all need to get it together. What's wrong, Miss Busty? She just as beautiful as she can be.
She want to do the job.
And St. Quetta never be Miss Busty. She not smart enough. Man, this your hometown. You ought to want this to look beautiful. Stop following up what that girl over there said. Cause when she leave here, wherever she live at, believe you me, her roles are not like your roles in Pahokee. You know it. And you wasn't brought up like that.
Thank you.
She's sitting over there looking like Dot on Sanford Son and Dora the Explorer. Coming and tearing up our hometown, making our people buck
Come on,
against
Ms.
each other.
Richard. Time's up.
That have done, how do.
City Clerk, we have any additional comments?
Now you get your property, but now you can leave. I'm done.
City Clerk.
No, sir.
Thank you. I'll entertain a motion for the adjournment of this meeting.
Mr. Mayor,
Workshop.
I just want to say something. You know, what happened? Mr. Mayor, I'm gonna say what happened where they come and Miss Bussey's family comes and at the end and Miss Bussey's sitting here laughing, and at the end of every meeting where they come and insult everybody, including myself, it is ridiculous. This needs to stop. This needs to stop. We do have rules of procedure that say that you cannot direct comments directly to people in a disparaging manner, and they do that every single meeting. And it's not myself, it's one of you all. To allow residents to come and curse at the microphone, that won't happen in any other city. So you were right when you said that doesn't have for her family to march in here every single meeting and bully people, insult people, lie on people. That should really stop, Mr. Mayor. So I feel like I need to stand up for not only myself, but this city in saying something publicly, because this is ridiculous and it really should stop, and your rules prohibit it.
And you too. That's right.
Even under citizen comments, it's
Well,
prohibited.
you need to do the right thing by our city.
And I don't cast spells.
This is a workshop. I adjourn this workshop.
Yeah. Don't hate my family because they support me. This foolishness that you are doing is so obvious. Changing the rules because I'm up here. Everybody.
Miss Weeks, Bernadette.
Yeah, this list.
Your hair is jacked up too.
Go ahead.
If you take mine